we are going to be talking about concentration and relaxation, which is a fundamental topic since achieving concentration and a good relaxation is what will allow us to be successful in the different practices for the awakening of our consciousness. And as I was saying, next conference we are going to have a practice on meditation. We will have a guided practice, and the next one a guided practice on astral projection. And then the following topics of this phase B will deal with aspects related to the initiation path, that how to enter that inner path that will lead us to the esoteric knowledge. Okay, and well, I invite you to join our WhatsApp and Telegram group, so you are there receiving the links when we are already live with our lectures, and so that you also receive complementary material, PDF, audio material on each of our topics. Okay, so let's start today's lecture by understanding what concentration really is, because that is very important. And as you can see here, the very word concentration is showing us that the consciousness is centered, that is focused, right, on the action. The very word concentration, you find this consciousness centered on the action. So we are really concentrated when our conscious part is the one that is present and is directing any action that we are carrying out. Concentration, actually, as you can see here, is a great power that allows us to be successful in everything that we undertake. That is why we need to learn how to be really concentrated, because if we want to be successful in this self-knowledge process and all the practices, well, we need to learn to concentrate. And well, actually, concentration, of course, when we learn to live in the present moment, in the here and now, that eternal now, as consciousness can only manifest here and now. It is important to understand that when we are distracted, we are mentally and emotionally in some other place or at some other time, past or future. We are remembering, we are planning, etc. We're fantasizing. We are not here when we are distracted, right? We are in another place in our psychological country. So when we manage to be concentrated, is when we are fully present in a self-aware state, and all our mental, emotional, instinctive, motor, that are our actions and words, and our sexual functions are all of them quiet, are working towards the same purpose. That is when we are concentrated. We are concentrated when our different functions are working in unison with our heart as the center, when all of our energies are there working for one purpose, when only one thought is sustained, when we sustain like full attention on what we are doing, is when we achieve inspiration and an instant later success. Okay, so we are there concentrated when we learn to focus all of our energies in only one point, in only one action, in only one thing. Okay, and you will see that the key to succeed in any practice is concentration. That is why we must practice and fight until we achieve concentration. Concentration is something that we must like exercise throughout the day. We cannot like spend the whole day mentally and emotionally wandering, and then at night, for example, wanting to do an astral projection, right? And pretending that we are going to achieve concentration during that practice. Okay, if we are concentrated during the day, we will continue to be concentrated during the night. Okay, because that is a law, the law of correspondence, right? And if during the day we are mentally wandering, in the night is going to happen the same exact thing. So it is very important that we learn and exercise to do everything we do during the day in a concentrated way. That way we are going to be exercising our capacity to be concentrated. And by law of correspondences, if we are there during the day fighting to be in a self-awareness state, remembering all the time of ourselves, of our inner being, right? Asking for death, for the different psychological defects that wants to manifest and distract us, to remain there in the present moment, in the here and now, aware of ourselves, of where, aware of where we find ourselves, if we are at the physical plane or the astral plane. Okay, that we do everything concentrated. When we move to the astral plane at night, we are going to be aware. We are going to be able to recognize that we are, for example, in the astral plane. Now, there are two types of concentration. One in the inner world and the other one in the outside world. And both of them are very, very important. We must always remain in that state of inner concentration, in constant self-remembering, and from that inner concentration, being at all times aware of ourselves, right, in self-observation, from that inner concentration, by becoming aware of everything that tries to distract us and that tries to steal our energy, and we are there eliminating it, we will be able to stay focused and to successfully carry out any activity that we do in the outside world. So we must develop the capacity of doing all external activities in a concentrated way, as well as the practices or as well as the capacity of performing our internal practices such as meditation, sexual transmutation, astral projection, etc., in a concentrated way. That is very, very important, because concentration is the opposite of distraction. Concentration actually comes from our consciousness, and distraction always comes from our psychological eyes, our psychological defects. If we study our distraction, the things that are making us distract, right, and we eliminate these things, we will end up undoubtedly in concentration. If we can discover all the selves or distracting elements that are taking us out from the present moment and we eliminate them, we will achieve concentration. Learning to center the consciousness in the action, actually, it requires a lot of practice, since a sense of psychological self-observation that will allow us to discover all those distracting elements is in all of us atrophied. So we need to practice. We need to try to self-observe ourselves at all times. With constant practice, by exercising the ability of self-observation, we are going to regenerate that sense of self-observation, and we will learn to center our consciousness in every action that we do. Now, how can we practice concentration? What should we do to start developing the power of concentration? Well, there are, as you can see here, certain tips that we must take into account so that we can stay focused when carried out any activity, whatever you are doing. Be it an external activity, something that we are doing at home, at work, or whatever, or be it a practice for self-knowledge, the same. The first thing to have to take into account, always make an effort to do one thing at a time, because when we are trying to carry out many things at the same time, we are dispersed and cannot carry out each thing in a concentrated way, and that leads us to make mistakes and to constantly get distracted, right? If we are like meditating and at the same time we want to check the notifications in our cell phones, that is not gonna work. The same if we are cooking something and we are there cooking and we are with the cell phone and we are with any other thing, we are not going to be successful in that, because we are going to be distracted at all times, right? So let's try to do one thing at a time. That is the first key to achieve concentration. Then we must make an effort to stay in the present moment. While doing this, whatever we're doing, let's stay in the present moment, focused on the action or the practice that we are doing without thinking about anything else. Being there, any thought that arises comes from a certain psychological defect. So we must self observe, become aware of what is the psychological defect that is trying to taking me out to think this, to remember this, to whatever this, right? And we are going to eliminate that psychological defect. And we are going to try to not interrupt the thing that we are doing to do another thing. That is like keys to practice concentration. Something else. While we are doing that, let's control the mind. Let's not think about things that we are going to do later, because that will take us out from the present moment where consciousness can manifest, and that will lead us to wonder, worrying, or yearning for the future, for example. Let's not be remembering things that have already been done. Let's try to stay focused on what we do in the present moment. We will be eliminating with the psychological death, right? Self-observation, asking our Divine Mother to eliminate the psychological defect that is manifesting, and that way we're going to try to get to be there, concentrated, and in this that we are doing. And we will do so with everything that we are gonna do, okay? That way we will start being successful in the practices we do for awakening our consciousness, and in general in anything that we undertake. So as you can see, simple steps, do one thing at a time without thinking of anything else. That sounds easy, but actually for us that are so used to be there thinking and feeling and thinking, can be hard at first. But let's try to not think of anything else, focus on what we are doing, not interrupting one thing to do another, not think about things to do not go to the future, not remember things that have already been done, not go to the past, and stay focused on what you're doing there in the present moment. Something that can help us to do the different activities of our daily life in a concentrated way is to take a few minutes every day to make a little schedule of activities. That is actually very helpful. In that schedule, we can write down all the activities that we have to do during the day and the order or the schedule, right, in which we are going to do them. And that will help us not to be planning, or thinking about what we'll have to do later. But if we have already an order and a schedule, we can focus on each action at each time. That is why this is a very good idea to make a schedule every day. It is important to prioritize in our schedule the practices for the awakening of our consciousness, the ones that we will carry out during that day. That to prevent that the things of the personality take up all of our time. Okay, so it is important that if we're planning to do a meditation at this time, we put this. We are going to practice today. We're going to learn a very good practice, which is watching and praying. You put a time for that, and every practice that you're going to do, you put the time, and that way you are going to start making first or giving a priority to the things of the consciousness. Okay, if we put order in the activities of the day, we will see how we will be more productive. We'll make fewer mistakes also, because we will be able to do everything in a concentrated way. We will have much more time to carry out the things that we must do when we already have an order. And most importantly, we will be able to make progress in the psychological death and in the liberation of our consciousness, because we are going to be there concentrated in self-observation. So we are going to be able to discover more and more psychological defects every day. Okay, and we will be every day freeing more and more portions or essences of consciousness. Okay, if we self-observe ourselves, we are going to see that all the things that we do in our daily lives is done mechanically. We are actually very, very mechanical. Since when we do the different things that we do during the day, we are thinking about other things. And that mistake that most of us do prevent us from being centered. It also prevents us from seeing all the psychological defects that are constantly manifesting in us. Okay, and you see that we wake up, we get up, we walk to the bathroom, we undress, we shower, we dress, we put on our shoes, we I don't know, make our bed, eat some breakfast, brush our teeth, we say goodbye, we go out, whatever. We do a lot of things, but we do all those things in a mechanical way. Consciousness is never there participating. Actually, we are, while doing a thing, we are thinking on anything else, we are feeling a lot of things, and we are never self observing ourselves. And that is why we make so many mistakes. That is why we don't awaken our consciousness, because our consciousness is asleep due to lack of use, because we never use our consciousness. We do things with our consciousness asleep, and because of that, there is no self-discovery. Every day is actually an opportunity to discover, to eliminate many psychological defects that are there manifesting in our emotion, in our mind, in our sexual part, in the things we do, in the things we talk, right? But if we are just mechanical doing things, if we are not self-observing ourselves, we cannot discover those defects, we cannot eliminate them, and we cannot free and awaken the consciousness that is actually trapped within all those psychological defects. But if we begin to self-observe ourselves, we will discover each one of the selves that are there all the time, participating in every action that we do, in everything that we think, in everything that we feel, etc., and that make us act mechanically, and that make us make mistakes, and that are there constantly stressing us, causing us worries, distracting us, and preventing us from achieving concentration. Okay, so when we begin to observe all this, when we seriously begin to self-observe ourselves, we discover and we realize directly the chaos in which we find ourselves. And we can there self-observe and see that we are all the time tense. And we can only make an order in that inner chaos if we learn to concentrate and if we learn to relax. So what is that? What is relaxation? What really is relaxation? Because when we think on relaxation, we think on okay, being there in the beach, drinking something. We think that is relaxation, but actually no. Relaxation is the natural state of our consciousness, and relaxation is a state of no tension. Actually, you can be there in the beach drinking something and you can be very tense because you are distracted, because your consciousness is not there. For you to be really relaxed, consciousness must be there, manifesting. Okay, as I was saying, relaxation is a state of no tension. Okay, because relaxation is also from consciousness. On the contrary, all our tensions belong to the ego, our different psychological defects. If we are tense, it's because one of our psychological defects is there, has taken over our human machine. Be it, I don't know, anger, be it anxiety, be it depression, be it jealousy, be it pride, be it laziness, be it whatever. When attention is there, acting on our human machine, our physical body, we are actually tense. And the interesting thing is to discover how we spend most of our day with different tensions all throughout our body, as well as mental, emotional, a lot of sexual tensions. And that state, or when we are in that state, the defects are taking away all of our energy. That is why our psychological defects are there, trying all the time to distract us, to steal our energy, our mental, emotional, motor, and sexual energy, right? And we go at the end of the day completely exhausted. That is actually our reality. So, what are the things that causes us tension? That is something very important to reflect on. Tensions are produced actually by our constant desires. We know that each desire that we feel is a self, is a psychological defect that wants to manifest itself. So when we feel desire, if you self-observe, you're going to see that immediately you are tense. You have some kind of tension. Tensions are also caused by negative emotions, such as worry, anxiety, fear, etc. When you feel negative emotion, you are already emotional tense, you are physically tense, okay? We also become tense when we are carrying a psychological songs, right? In wrong psychological state. So when we have like a resentment, something that we are there feeling and feeling again, and we remember and we feel again that resentment, for example, we are feeling tense. All types of thoughts generate different tensions. When you are worried about something and you are there thinking and thinking, you start feeling like the tension here and the tension all over your body. The worries, the incessant inner chatter that we have, as well as the struggle between our different psychological defects within us, trying to manifest, trying to to be the one who is there leading the human machine. When we're facing decisions, doubts, internal debates, etc., we are very tense, and that is something so very common in us. And what we should do when we become aware of any defect that is there producing tension in any part of the machine. If you self-observe and you discover right now that you have a tension here, that you feel tense here in the that you feel sexual tension, because sometimes we are facing certain situations, and when we observe ourselves we discover a sexual tension, that means that a psychological defect is there acting. Any tension that we find in whatever in our body is something that should make us aware that a psychological defect is actually there. Can be lost, can be, as I was saying, pride, can be whatever. If you self-observe and you find a tension, then what you should do, you must do something, right, to relax, so that defect should not exhaust your energy unnecessarily. So what are the steps that you should take over when you find that you are already tense? How are we going to relax when we discover that we are tense? Well, once we discover through self-observation the tension, you should judge that tension to find out what is the defect that is causing you that tension. Okay? When you understand that it is actually a defect that is there manifesting in you, and that defect is draining your energy unnecessarily, you should plead your divine mother, which is the force of love of your consciousness, to eliminate that defect. You should ask divine mother or my mother, eliminate this defect. That is a powerful force that we all have in our consciousness, that have the strength, the ability, the capacity to eliminate anything wrong, anything, I don't know, impure, anything, any defect that we find that is acting in our psychology. You are worried about something and you are going to find out different tensions all over your body. And when you already discover that it is such worry and that is tensing this area of my body, you should ask your divine mother to eliminate that psychological defect. If in those moments you beg your particular divine mother to eliminate that defect that is producing that tension in this or that any of the centers of your human machine, the emotional part, the intellectual part, the sexual, the motor, or the instinctive center, then you ask for death and you are going to notice how she acts immediately. How you are going to find out that that area is already relaxed. She acts relaxing the place where you observed the defect. You could even imagine fire when you ask for death, for any defect that is causing you a certain tension. You could imagine a fire that is there, goes and burns all that area, like purifying that area, and you're going to feel how immediately that part is relaxed. Okay, but it is necessary to understand why we are tense for the mother to act. That is important. Okay, and tensions, of course, for many reasons. For example, when we do something that we don't like, there are a lot of psychological defects they are trying to cause attention. For example, I don't know, laziness is there, or you want to do something else and that anxiety is there causing you attention. If you find out that, you ask your divine mother to eliminate that and you are going to see how you relax. Something else that causes tensions, when we are afraid that something that we are doing will be wrong, or when we want to do something that we like more, or when we are doing something and we are like worried about what we are going to do later, right? Or if what we did before didn't work out very well, we are commonly tense, or when what we did before was very good, also pride is there causing us tension, or when we don't know how to do what we are doing, when we have any doubt, we are going to be tense. When we are worried about something we'll have to do, or when we are distracted by something, we are going to find out that we are tense. So we must remain alert to become aware whenever we begin to feel tension, to immediately eliminate it. Okay, and in this way we will be able to be in a permanent state of relaxation. And how do we know that we are already relaxed? How can we know that? Relaxation happens when all tensions has disappeared. Okay, you are there asking for death, for everything that is causing you tension, and you are going to experience how all tensions disappear, that your psychology has normalized again, that you feel good, and that you can focus on what you do. It is impossible to reach concentration if we have tension. So it is important to relax to achieve concentration. Okay, and well, as you can see, to be successful in anything we do, but especially in the practices that we will do to awaken our consciousness, it is absolutely necessary that we begin to develop the ability to stay focused and relaxed. And there is like a general relaxation practice that we must learn and that we must do before doing any practice. You're going to make, for example, an astral projection practice. First, practice to relax yourself. You're going to do meditation first, relax yourself. Anything that you're going to do for consciousness, first, relax yourself. Because that way, consciousness will be manifesting and you are going to be able to concentrate. Okay, so you know the key for achieving relaxation is finding the psychological defect that is there acting, causing you tension, and eliminating it. But also there are like these tips to relax that you can use before any practice. For example, to relax your physical body, because many times we have like many tensions in our body. You can concentrate on each of the parts of your body, and well, you need to know that where your thoughts are, your consciousness will be. Okay, so you're going to imagine and feel each of the parts of your body in order. And you can imagine, for example, a warm and bright light that illuminates and relaxes each part of your body. You can begin by relaxing, for example, the right leg. You imagine that light that enters the foot, relaxing finger by finger, then the sole, the instep, the heel, the ankle, the calf, the knee, the thigh, the entire leg. And then you do the same with the left leg. Enter the light enters and relax the whole foot, toe by toe, the sole, the instep, every part, entire leg. And then you move the light to the right arm, and you imagine that light illuminates the hand. You feel it, right? Finger by finger, the palm, the back, the wrist, then the forearm, the elbow, and the entire arm. And you do the same thing with the left arm. You don't have to move any part of the body. You just imagine the light entering and relaxing each part of your body. You relax your genital area, the gluteal area, the hips, the abdomen, the waist, the chest. You feel your chest with the light, the shoulders, right, the back, and the whole trunk. And then you continue relaxing your neck, your throat, your jaw, part by part, feeling every part with that light, the tongues, the lips, the cheeks, the nose, the eyes, in the whole head, glowing with that light. And then you are going to command all the muscles and nerves and tendons of your body to relax, to be still and calm down. You can command that 3 times, and your physical body is going to order. It's going to hear you, and it's going to relax. Physical body, relax, calm down, be still, for example. And you can repeat that procedure 3 times, for example, until you feel that your whole body is comfortable and relaxed. That's something that you should do before doing any practice, relaxing your physical body. Now, for the relaxation of the astral body, which is our emotional part, what you can do is to concentrate on your breathing, observing like the entrance and the exit of the air, like around 3 minutes, just inhaling deep and slowly, right, through the nose. You can hold your breath a little and exhale through the mouth. And imagine how all the emotional tension is expelled when exhaling the air. You can do that for 1 minute, 2, 3, until you feel that your emotional area calms down. And for the relaxation of the mental body, which is the intellectual part, you can concentrate on your heart and on listening to all the noises from the outside world. You can close your eyes, concentrate on your heart, and listen on everything that is around you. You can do that for 1, 2, 3 minutes. But you are not going to become identified with any of the sounds that you hear, okay? You are going to listen to a sound and let it go. And you're going to be looking for increasingly distant sounds until you experience how the mind calms down and relaxes, okay? When you are trying to hear and hear and hear, the mind relaxes. And that way, you're going to enter the practice already with your physical body relaxed, your astral body relaxed, and your mental body relaxed. And that is very important, okay? So that is a general relaxation practice that you should practice whenever you want, but especially when you are going to do a practice for self-knowledge, okay? For awakening your consciousness. Now, there is a practice that is very good that we keep in mind and that we dedicate time to this practice every day, because this practice will help us to develop the ability to stay concentrated, as well that it will allow us to be eliminating enormous amount of details of our ego when practicing it. And this practice is called watch and pray, or watching and praying. And we recommend, before doing this practice, if you have the opportunity, right, to clean the energy of the environment with this, with the singing of the violin and the magic circle of protection that we learned in the lesson 7 of the phase 8 of this course. That way, you like clean the place of any negative energy. But now, if you don't have, I don't know, like a good place to do the violin and the magic circle, okay, you can do it. For example, you are there on a bus and you are going to be there, I don't know, half an hour, for example. And you don't want to spend that half an hour distracted, but you want to be there practicing concentration and eliminating psychological defects. But you don't have like the place to do your magic circle, for example, because people is there close to you. Okay, don't do it. But if you have the place, the time, you can do the violin and the magic circle. It's always very helpful. Now, what you should always do is to plead for assistance to your divine mother and your inner father to help you in the practice, okay? You make a short relaxation process, observing that your whole body is comfortable. And then when you are already relaxed, you are going to concentrate on your heart. If you want, you can close your eyes, concentrate on your heart. And you are going to be there listening and observing your inner world. Concentration there on your heart. And you are going to be begging your divine mother to disintegrate each little detail that you observe that comes to distract you, to take you out of that self-awareness state. You're going to be there asking, my mother, eliminate this, and you're going to be eliminating and immediately returning to the concentration on your heart. That way you're going to be like practicing stay concentrated, and you are going to be developing that capacity, and you're going to be eliminating at the same time many details that are constantly there trying to distract you. For example, you can be there quiet, right? Concentrated on your heart, and many thoughts can come. You observe them, you observe the defect that is there trying to attacking in your mind, and you, my mother, eliminate this and return to the concentration in your heart. You feel any emotion, whatever, anxiety, anything that you feel, boredom, whatever, you observe it, and my mother, eliminate this defect and return to your heart. Any sensation that you feel on your body, anything is itching here or uncomfortable here, actually that is the ego trying to distract you. So what you're gonna do, you observe it, you comprehend it is a defect, and my mother eliminates this defect and return to the concentration on your heart. Anything that wants to take you out of that state of vigilance, out of the here and now, is going to die. You're going to ask your divine mother to eliminate it, and that way you're going to be there watching and praying. Watching what? Your inner world, whatever that manifests in you. And praying what? Praying to your divine mother to eliminate that psychological defects. That is actually watch and pray. What is doing things consciously, on vigil, in self-observation, like concentrated, right? And praying is that pleading to your divine mother to eliminate that defect that is not letting you concentrate, okay? Yeah, this practice can be done until perfect concentration is achieved. And it's good to do this practice also before doing any other practice, because with this practice you will achieve a very good state of concentration, okay? Or, as I was saying, you can specifically dedicate, for example, 20 minutes daily to this practice. That will be very helpful to develop concentration. And well, that is the practice that we wanted to show you today. And that is the first lecture of the Phase B. I want to thanks and say hi to the friends that are here with us, Carla and Perry. Hi, guys. And well, I want to invite you to our next lecture of base B, the second one. Next week, we are going to have a guided reflective meditation practice. Okay, so if you are watching this video and you are not yet part of our WhatsApp or Telegram groups where we share these free self-knowledge lectures, in the description of this video, you can find the link to access our groups. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you very much to all of you for being here, for participating on the self-knowledge course, and for sharing these lectures. And well, that is all for today. Thank you very much, and see you the next time.